It is time for you to forgive yourself. And where forgiving yourself began for me was me forgiving my once limiting beliefs. Limiting beliefs are something that pretty much are preventing you from pursuing what you inevitably are probably meant to pursue. And it can be brought on from outside circumstances and people and their knowledge or their limiting beliefs then transferring onto you in preventing you from fully embodying what you're meant to. Great news is now that there's an understanding of that, it can be changed because we have the freedom to do so. Doing so definitely requires honing in on your inner knowing or your intuition, however you want to call it. Think of your intuition like a sport. For example, we'll take basketball. You can have a natural ability to it, but you still have to practice, you still have to educate yourself, you still have to put in the time and effort. Well, the same can be true when it comes to your intuition, your inner knowing. The more that you work at it and begin to understand it, the stronger it will become. An example of this practice is whenever you have thoughts coming through, are they loud? Are they giving you kind of anxiety? Do they feel like you're going to just burst at the seams if you don't let it out? That would be ego. That would be the limiting belief system. Your intuition will be more quiet, calm, happier, softer spoken inside. For it does not need to be allowed to stand out within you. Now, in being able to differentiate the difference between the ego and your intuition / inner knowing, the next step would be when the loud noise in the ego does come to the surface, knowing that it is coming up for healing. And then once you're able to acknowledging it and allowing it to come through, you're now allowing it to get out of your mind, and then inevitably you'll begin to replace those practices of negativity thoughts, the fire alarms, and saying, no, I'm calm, everything's okay, and healing it in a way so then that way, if when it does start to resurface again, it's resurfacing in a way where you are now aware of it being more of your ego. And this is a great practice in helping you to tap in better to your inner knowing, intuition, and pretty much getting loud with your ego and letting it know that you see it for what it is as well. That's the exciting news, is that you can slowly but surely start to replace those limiting belief systems that you once had with belief systems that are empowering you and enabling you to pursue what you're inevitably meant to pursue. Remember, beliefs can change, and that is completely okay. Something that you could have thought to be true throughout your life, if it does not fit in what you're currently stepping into or the direction that you're trying to bring your life into, then it is okay to admit that you grew out of that belief. The great thing about a belief is that it's not concrete, it's not set in stone. It is just a piece that'll help you in setting up the next step, connecting you to another belief that resonates with you, and so on. If you're hearing things and there's an internal where you're kind of like, I don't know about that, still receive whatever is coming to you, but pick what actually resonates and just leave down what doesn't. Or pick it up and use it and see if it actually flows in your life of direction that you're going into, or if it creates resistance and blockages. That's another way in knowing the difference between a limiting belief and what your inner knowing really is. Authentic truth can only be found within you in your inner knowing, which makes it different from person to person. So don't be afraid to not take all of whatever somebody else's beliefs, whether that be a parent, a friend, or whoever, a teacher, it doesn't matter. If it doesn't resonate with you inside, it is okay to put it aside. So I end with again saying, just like a craft or a sport, it takes practice in breaking down the barriers of the limiting beliefs and stepping into your intuition and inner knowing. But the beautiful thing is that your inner knowing is always there, ready and willing to guide you however you need. Just put in the practice and keep picking up the tools and using them, because as those cycles repeat, you're cycling upward. You're not cycling downward. Keep that in mind. If a cycle is repeating itself, it doesn't mean that you fucked up. It just means that there's another layer of learning for you as you're traveling upward, and it will get easier. It'll always get easier. Stay blessed, my friends. Namaste.